But it kind of gets to the point about the strategic silence of Mike Pence. Like, I do think Mike Pence would like to be president. Realistically, he probably never will. But what he does know is that if he keeps his mouth shut, the mob that came after him on January 6th won't come after him again. He will have a safe, comfortable life in the warm bath of the conservative movement, at think tanks and conservative media, where they will never ask him a tough question about the events that he witnessed that led up to the insurrection and what it felt like to become a victim of it. Like, he has a safe, comfortable life if he just keeps his mouth shut and waves the flag for Trump.
What's good, family? This is Brian Lewis once again with another breaking news update. So the woman you saw speaking in that clip is Amanda Carpenter, a conservative political advisor and former columnist for the Washington Times, as well as a former staffer for Senator Ted Cruz. She went on CNN yesterday and said that former VP, Vice President Mike Pence, would have a future in the party as long as he, quote, keeps his mouth shut, end quote, about what happened at the U.S. Capitol on January the 6th. This is an absolutely stunning clip because she sounds like someone who works for the mob threatening Pence to keep his mouth shut or else, you know. So take a look at this clip and I will be back.
Senator Mitt Romney, in an interview, said that Trump, quote, has by far the largest voice and the big impact on my party, and that if the former president were won in 2024, Mitt Romney says he's pretty sure he would win the nomination. Do you agree with Mitt Romney? And what does it tell you that Mitt Romney's saying that?
Yeah, I mean, I think if the primary were held today, there's no doubt who would oppose Donald Trump in this environment. But it kind of gets to the point about the strategic silence of Mike Pence. Like, I do think Mike Pence would like to be president. Realistically, he probably never will. But what he does know is that if he keeps his mouth shut, the mob that came after him on January 6th won't come after him again. He will have a safe, comfortable life in the warm bath of the conservative movement, at think tanks and conservative media, where they will never ask him a tough question about the events that he witnessed that led up to the insurrection and what it felt like to become a victim of it. Like, he has a safe, comfortable life if he just keeps his mouth shut and waves the flag for Trump. That's what he's angling for. Anything after that, gravy.
That's something.
So this is relevant because, as I discussed yesterday, there is infighting within the GOP based around the future of the party and different factions within the GOP wanting the party to go in different directions. This is yet another example of it. Amanda Carpenter sounded like someone who was ready to make Mike Pence an offer he can't refuse. You know, the implication being your offer is a future in the party, a future in the GOP. If you refuse, then I don't know, something will happen to you. What exactly is she getting at here? This is why in the Godfather movie, he said you can't refuse the offer, because if you did, then something bad will happen to you. That was the implication. The quote is as much of a threat as it is an offer, right? The quote from Amanda Carpenter, it says as much of a threat as it is an offer. So, which is why I brought that up. So, I mean, she actually said, quote, if he keeps his mouth shut, the mob that came after him on January the 6th won't come after him again, end quote. How is that not a thinly veiled threat? It obviously is to me. I don't know about you guys, but she said, quote, he will have a comfortable, life in the warm bath of the conservative movement. Some imagery there, strange imagery, but she said he will have a safe, comfortable life in the warm bath of the conservative movement if he keeps his mouth shut and raises the flag for Trump. So this is the modern GOP. It is a party that engages in this mob mentality. These are the people we're supposed to take seriously. These are the people who have senators in power, who people like Joe Manchin every time he bucks legislation from the Democratic Party, from his own party. Democrats like Joe Manchin would rather protect the party of mob violence and and this is why American politics is so ass backwards and destabilized right now. It's the entire right-wing echo chamber and the media that puts these people on daily, as if their views are normal. Nothing about this is normal. The acceptance of violent right-wing rhetoric is a problem in this country. And I have no love for Pence whatsoever. Y'all know that. But I love to see them fight. I love to see the infighting. So here's my bit of fuel on the dumpster fire that is the American GOP. Let's hope it consumes them. And one last thing before I end the video. The acting Capitol Police Chief Yogananda Pittman has recently revealed that militia groups plan to, or at least they plan to attempt to blow up the Capitol after the January 6th attack, and that they, quote, wanted to kill as many members as possible, end quote, on January the 6th. Watch this final clip and keep Amanda Carpenter's statement in mind as you watch it.
If I may just add one more point. With that said, we know that the insurrectionists that attacked the Capitol weren't only interested in attacking members of Congress and officers. They wanted to send a symbolic message to the nation as to who was in charge of that legislative process. We know that members of the militia groups that were present on January 6th have stated their desires that they want to blow up the Capitol and kill as many members as possible with a direct nexus to the State of the Union, which we know that date has not been identified. So based on that information, we think that it's prudent that Capitol Police maintain its enhanced and robust security posture until we address those vulnerabilities going forward.
This is why Amanda Carpenter wants Pence to keep his mouth shut. This threat is not over, folks, and she knows it. She knows it isn't. There are active, violent militias operational right now on United States soil. So with this recent revelation in mind, you cannot see her comments as anything else other than a threat on Pence's life, which is why this man has been in borderline hiding since leaving office. You haven't seen or heard anything from Mike Pence because he knows how crazy these people are. And he, you know, when you have people like Amanda Carpenter going on television, lobbing these thinly veiled threats against him, now you see why he's not very visible right now. But that's all I wanted to say about this. My name is Brian Lewis, as you guys know. Follow me on Twitter at _Black Intellect. Make sure you like this video, share, and subscribe.